For today's video, I am going to be reviewing and demoing the new Urban Decay Face Bond Self-Setting Waterproof Foundation. I did receive this in PR. It came with the foundation. It came with this nice sponge. I did actually already wet this in order to use it for applying it. It also came with the all-nighter setting spray as well as two little hair clips here. Also, I should mention this video is not sponsored. I'm not being paid to make this video. The brand doesn't even know that I'm making this video, but they did send this to me in PR. I was not really expecting Urban Decay to reach out to me, but they did. It's not my typical content. If you know or are familiar with my channel, I normally talk about clean beauty brands or brands that are marketed as clean beauty. So this is a bit different than what I normally create content about, but I figured since I got this package, I might as well do a review for you. If ingredients are super important to you and you like to look into that kind of thing, always do your research into the ingredients. This brand is not marketed as being clean beauty. I know they do include ingredients such as PEGs and things like that. So always do your own research. If those are not ingredients that you're interested in, then you're probably not going to be interested in this product, but I'm going to go ahead and get into reviewing it. So here is what the foundation looks like. This retails for $40 and it comes in a variety of different shades. It comes in 40 shades. I have the shade 5 Fair Neutral. Getting into all of the details about this, this is supposed to give a natural matte finish. It's supposed to give a medium buildable coverage, and it's supposed to be an ultra thin consistency and very lightweight. So it's supposed to be kind of like a serum type of foundation, but yet supposed to give you that medium coverage. I'm very curious how I'm going to like this. I'm normally not a huge fan of matte foundations, and I'm curious to see how lightweight this really feels since it is supposed to give a medium coverage. It also has the skincare benefits of a serum. This does have 3% niacinamide in here. A claim that they make about this is that it's supposed to help with improving skin textures, feel. So it says it's been clinically tested to improve skin's texture feel after 4 weeks of use. And also, as you probably know from the name of this, it says that this is a self-setting foundation. So it's supposed to kind of act like a powder as well. So you're not supposed to have to set this with a powder. Again, it is also matte. So sometimes with matte foundations, you don't want to set your face anyway, but that is just one of the main kind of claims that they make about this. So they say no powder is needed, and it's supposed to give an instant skin blurring effect. It's said to be non-comedogenic, so it won't clog your pores. It's supposed to be non-acneogenic, so it's supposed to work well for acne-prone skin as well. And I do have acne-prone skin. I know my skin is pretty cleared up, but I do still have very acne-prone skin. And if you've been following my channel for a while, or if you've seen any of my content, you know that I have dealt with acne. I did a whole skin and acne journey on my YouTube channel. This is also supposed to be waterproof, humidity proof, and sweat proof. So I'm going to put this to the test today. I'll go outside. It's definitely very humid and hot where I live right now, so I think I can definitely put that to the test and see how humidity proof this really is, and just tell you guys how this lasts throughout the day. It's said to also be smudge and transfer resistant, and it's supposed to give up to 24 hours of wear, coverage that lasts all day and all night. And again, it's supposed to give medium coverage that helps to minimize the appearance of imperfections, redness, acne scars, blemishes, and pores. So let's go ahead and get into the application of this. So you just pop the top off there. So here is what that looks like. Okay, so I think I'll just apply some directly on my face. I'll apply a few dots or a few little bits of it on my face to start. Hopefully this, oh, whoa. Hopefully this is enough. I'm just gonna go lightly, and then if I need to add more, I will. So then I'm going to use this sponge. It gets quite a bit larger when you do wet it, but let's go ahead and start blending it out. So again, this is supposed to give a medium coverage. Okay, with the sponge, that definitely I feel like is going to share the coverage out. As with sponge, that's just kind of how sponges are. However, I love using sponges because I think that they just make whatever products you're using have the most seamless application, in my opinion and from my experience. So I feel like with the sponge, you might need to apply more product in order to get that medium coverage. However, I will say it is blending in very, very beautiful. It does look super skin-like right now. I feel like it's barely detectable on my skin right now. I also feel like it's only kind of a little bit evening out my skin tone. Definitely not a medium coverage as of yet. Maybe I just did not apply enough product to get that medium coverage. So I'm definitely gonna try to build this up a bit. So let's build this up. I'm just gonna take some on my finger, kind of dab it this way. Okay, there, I'm applying a lot more product this time. So this should hopefully get us to that medium coverage. I've gotten so used to just using such a small amount of product. I've been using like skin tints and just like tinted sunscreens. So I normally don't apply a lot of foundation like this, but so let's try this again. Okay, yep, I can definitely see how this is gonna get to that medium coverage now if you use enough product. It is blending out very, very well. It definitely looks like a little bit heavy on my skin around my mouth. Maybe I applied too much on that side of my face now, but I'm just gonna blend it out really well with this sponge to try to really, really, really blend it out. Make sure it's not too heavy in some areas. I will say it does look really, really nice. My skin looks a lot more even out now. I would definitely say that this is a medium coverage. Absolutely a medium coverage. Does a nice job at kind of minimizing the appearance of some of my post-acne marks without completely getting rid of them. So not a full coverage, of course, like it says, it is a medium coverage. So I definitely agree that it is a medium coverage, but it does still look quite skin-like. It does not look like I have a super heavy product on my skin, but again, because this is supposed to be a matte foundation, I am curious to see how this wears throughout the day, if it starts to look heavy in some areas, because normally I find that with my combination skin, I find that matte foundations normally just end up looking cakey throughout the day. However, this does feel very lightweight like the claims say, so I do agree with that. I actually have high hopes from this, just considering how this feels on my skin right now. It does feel very, very lightweight. Even though I applied a good amount of product there, it still feels very lightweight and it looks quite seamless on my skin. So I'm very excited to see how this works. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and then I will be right back. Okay, so I have got the rest of my makeup on. And I will say actually already now, just after putting on the rest of my makeup and having the foundation just sit on my face a bit more now, I already feel like it feels a little bit dry right here. But it also is probably just because I am not really used to wearing matte foundations. I normally typically go for something that is more moisturizing. I normally go for a dewy finish, so this is definitely not my normal thing. If you are a fan of matte foundations and you're used to how they feel, then maybe that won't matter to you. Or if you have really oily skin, I do have combination skin, so you can kind of put that into consideration. So far, I'm thinking that this foundation is probably going to be best for those who have oily skin, people who just really want something that's going to absorb excess oil and help with minimizing oil throughout the day. But I'm still going to put this to the test throughout the day and let you guys know how it wears. Probably, I'm definitely not going to wear it for a full 24 hours, but I'll wear it for my typical day, maybe do like 7-8 hours of wear. So here's what it's looking like now. It does look pretty seamless on my skin. If I look up really close, I can see the product a bit in some areas, like what I was noticing it up here, but only when I look up really close. You know, people aren't going to be looking that close to your face most likely, so I don't think that's an issue as of yet. But I think it looks pretty nice. It feels pretty lightweight. Definitely feels a bit matte. Not that it's overly drying feeling right now. But yeah, I'm sure that might change also throughout the day as my skin has some natural oils, and as I go out into the humidity. So we'll put that to the test. So, all right, I will see you for my first check-in. I am outside. Just to show you some natural lighting, I'll get in the sunlight too so you can see. So far, it is looking good. Ooh, it's kind of bright in the light, but here's what it looks like in the natural lighting. I'd say it still looks quite good. It's been about 2 hours, not quite 2 hours yet, almost 2 hours. So still looking good, and I have been out in the humidity a little bit. So it seems like it's holding up pretty good. It's not like I'm getting overly oily. It seems to be helping to control the excess oil, but again, it's only been almost 2 hours, so gotta give it some more time to see how it lasts, but looking good so far. All right, you guys, it has been 5 hours now since I first applied the foundation, and I just looked close up in my mirror, and I actually think it looks even better now than it did when I first applied it. Like I had mentioned at the beginning when I first applied it, I thought it was looking, or not really looking, but feeling a little dry around here and maybe looking a little dry up here. I could detect the foundation more, but now I feel like that my natural oils have kind of settled in. I actually feel like it looks even better now, but it's still kind of, you know, doing a good job at keeping oil at bay. It's not looking super oily, but as you can see, my natural oils have come through a little bit. So I actually think it just looks better now. It just looks more skin-like, not oily. And not necessarily super matte looking because it looks less dry now that my oils are kind of going on there a little bit, but it just looks really, really pretty. And I think the coverage has pretty much still been holding up this whole time. So still feel like I'm at that medium coverage, but it just looks even more skin-like now in my opinion. So I'm impressed. I am very impressed so far. All right, you guys, so this is going to be my final check-in. It has been 6 hours now, and really my skin looks the same as it did during my 5-hour check-in. I know 6 hours maybe is not like enough for some people, but honestly, I think that my skin is going to look the same at the 7-hour mark than it is now, because from the 5 to 6 I feel like it was looking about the same. So hopefully this is okay. Hopefully this video is still helpful, but it's just been one of those days. I want to take my makeup off and just relax, so that's why I'm ending this right here. But I still think that I can give you guys a good idea for my thoughts about this foundation now from wearing it throughout the day. And I did wear it in humid weather as well a few times. I did go outside for a while, so I feel like this really did hold up quite well, and honestly the coverage I think stayed about the same. It definitely did fade just a little bit. A lot of other foundations that I've used though have faded more than this one has. This one definitely has held on pretty well. So I know they do say that this is supposed to last up to 24 hours. I know that's a long time, but keywords up to 24 hours. I don't know if it would last quite 24 hours. That's a lot. And I don't think most people would wear it for a full 24 hours. I think if you were wanting to wear it for like a full work day, maybe that's like 8 to 10 hours, depending on your schedule and when you would normally take your makeup off. I definitely think that this can last that 8 to 10 hour mark and still be looking quite good. Honestly, my skin looks great. Normally, I'm not a fan of matte foundations, but this is one that I could definitely see myself going back for. Again, it's not really my ingredient preference. However, as far as it looks on the skin and everything, this is one that I can see myself wanting to use because of how it looks on the skin. It really does have a natural matte finish where it doesn't look like overly matte to the point where it looks dry or heavy. And while it does give that medium coverage, it still does look very, very light on the skin. It does not look heavy at all. It looks pretty skin-like, really. My skin mostly still just looks like my skin, and I feel like most people in person, they might not even be able to tell that I'm wearing a foundation. And especially as I was wearing it throughout the day, I noticed that it just looked even better because my natural oils were helping to take away any of those spots on my face that were looking a little bit dry at the beginning. I felt like my natural oils just kind of helped to even that out, I guess, make it not look quite as dry, even though again, it didn't look like crazy dry or anything. Now I will say after 6 hours on my forehead, I feel like there's like spots like right here and right here where it looks just a little bit patchy, but to be honest, I don't think that many people would really notice unless they're looking up super close to your face. So to me, I don't really think that's a huge issue, but as far as everywhere else on my face, I do not think it's looking patchy or overly dry anywhere. Just pretty much looks like my skin, but yet my skin still has a more even tone to it. Kind of help to get rid of some of those post-acne marks a little bit, just kind of cover them up, and I still feel like they're covered up a bit. Normally they might look a little bit more red, but this does a nice medium coverage, and I think it lasts really quite well throughout the day. As far as the skin types that I think that this will be best for, I think this can work great for anybody with normal, combination, or oily skin. If you do have really dry skin, then you probably might not want to go for a matte foundation, but I think this can work for most skin types. It's not like overly drying or anything like that. And again, I do have combo skin, so you might find that this is not drying at all. If you have oily skin, it might just really do a great job at minimizing your oils. So yeah, I think it is good for most skin types. Also, and being somebody who is acne prone, I don't see this being an issue. Obviously, after this one wear test, you know, that's not really a perfect way to say if it causes breakouts or not, but because of how lightweight it is, I really don't see it being an issue. And again, always look at the ingredients, see if there are any ingredients that you know your skin doesn't like. That's always a personal thing, but I personally don't see this being an issue for causing breakouts. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you do have any questions about this foundation, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you are interested in picking this up, and maybe it was because of my video, it would mean so much to me if you would use the link in the description box below. It does help to support my channel so that I can continue creating free content for you guys here on YouTube. And if you do want to, I feel very weird saying this, but if you do, I just learned about this feature. If you want to help to support my channel even more, there is a button. It's a little heart, and it's called, I think it's called extra thanks or something like that, but it has a heart, and then it gives you an option to put a tip. That feels so weird to ask for, but if you find my videos helpful and you want to help to support my channel, it would be so amazing if you felt the desire to leave me a little tip. That would mean so much and really help to support my channel so that I can continue doing this as my job, because times are tough. But anyway, I know they're tough for everybody, so no obligation at all. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And if you want to see even more content from me in the future, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you for my next video.